Monty. Welcome. Today we're just going to do like a general overview of the Bitcoin ecosystem. I'm paying for this, to be honest with you, I'm paying for this podcast service on a monthly basis, and I keep forgetting to use it. So I thought, that's my cat, Lazy Bones. Whenever I'm doing something, he needs to get attention. But the state of the Bitcoin economy is the name of this particular session, and I better give him some treats, otherwise he's not gonna let me concentrate on anything. So anyway, how you guys doing? Let's take a look at what's going on in the traditional economy as it relates to the Bitcoin economy and vice versa. Okay, I haven't done this in a while, and I'm just doing this off the top of my head, so it's no big deal in terms of having some prepared dialogue or something. It's not that important right now. As far as I'm concerned, these are some of the major things to keep in mind. The traditional banking system is not keeping pace, and they're using regulators and legislative means to keep us from achieving what we need to achieve. For the most part, the AML, anti-money laundering laws and such are just stifling our freedoms. In other words, when you want to experiment with trading cryptocurrencies or just send money back and forth to relatives and friends, even with fiat or dollars, they make it very, very difficult to send any decent amount of money back and forth without a whole bunch of bureaucracy. So that's not good. In the crypto space, if you don't know this, we're circumventing all of that using Bitcoin and using cryptos. We are able to actually send money back and forth without any problems. And before I forget, I'm experimenting with a few things here. One of them is called Unstoppable Domains. There's a company called Unstoppable Domains. They actually let you, and I've experimented with this myself, they actually let you set up a human readable address. So instead of the long string of numbers and characters, a 16-digit string of numbers and characters that we typically use when transferring bitcoins and cryptocurrencies around, you no longer have to be bothered with that, because using unstoppable domains, for instance, what I did was I used my name, Monty Henry, at crypto.com, and I could give that to you or anyone. And if you have Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and some others, you can quickly and easily transfer the funds from your wallet, as long as the wallet is compatible and such. You can quickly and easily transfer cryptocurrencies from one person to the other. Okay, so again, mine is Monty Henry at crypto.com. You can send me some cryptocurrencies if you want, but no, you can do this with anyone, anywhere, anytime, without any government intervention or bureaucracy or excessive charges or anything like that. And Unstoppable Domain also has a pretty cool service whereby you can have a website with content on it, and if the content, see, in the regular space, traditional space, if you have a website with content on it and the government doesn't like what you're saying or something, they can basically go to the internet service provider and block your content or even take it down. But using Unstoppable Domains hosting service, they also let you host content in a decentralized form whereby no one can take it down because it's decentralized. It's spread all over the place, right? So you don't have to worry about that either. So I encourage you guys to do at least those two things. Go to Unstoppable Domains and get your domain name so that people can send you cryptocurrencies back and forth. At least you can experiment with it for your business or for personal, and take advantage of the freedoms offered by not having to worry about having a long string of numbers and stuff like that. And I also sent a suggestion to Unstoppable Domains to upgrade or integrate their service so that we can also have a plug-in that plugs into WooCommerce. WooCommerce is a shopping cart, e-commerce shopping cart that's typically associated with WordPress and some other ones. But WooCommerce is definitely a major shopping cart type of service. They do lots and lots of business, very, very large operation. And I asked them to see if they can get a plug-in so that the Unstoppable Domains, I asked Unstoppable Domains to see if they can get a plug-in that works with WooCommerce and WordPress, so that we can just click on a plug-in and activate it and all that, and turn it on, and then quickly have our Unstoppable Domains available for our customers to send cryptocurrencies that way. So that's something to look into as well. So check into Unstoppable Domains. And then also I'm experimenting with mixing services, and I'm having a lot of fun just knowing that we can now mix our coins in such a way that obscures the identity or the history of the transactions associated with those coins. And at any given point in time, see, the traditional fiat space, financial institutions can take a look at your transactions. Whenever you go to the grocery store or purchase even a small item, they can take a look at the transaction history, look at the identities, look at the time, dates, locations, all sorts of things to determine who's spending what and where. Now, if you don't mind the government and marketers and hackers and everyone knowing everything about you, then it's not an issue. But there are some times when you do want some privacy. You do want to preserve the nature of your expenditures and such. Dollar amounts and all those things. Sometimes they're very important. It's very important that you hide them, unless you want to reveal them. But to have it publicly available by default, and then to send you through a whole bunch of effort to hide it, that's kind of backwards. But anyway, in the crypto space, by using the Wasabi wallet, WASABI wallet, the Wasabi wallet, and their coin join feature, COIN, join is JOIN. You could use that service to actually mix your cryptos in such a way as to make them impossible, make it impossible to find out who's spending what and who has how much coins or whatever. So in the crypto space, we have this capability, and I think a lot of you guys in the regular space, you need to consider some of these tools, because, you know, as things get more and more to the point where we're in a surveillance state, you're going to want to have some privacy. There's certain times, you know, you may not mind, but then there's, you know, circumstances. Always there's going to be circumstances where you're going to say, look, I don't want the whole world to know everything about what I'm doing. If I want you to know, I'll do that. But if I don't want you to know, I want that option as well. So anyway, check out the Wasabi wallet and the coin join feature that comes with that wallet. Because if you don't know, you guys don't know already, typically if there's a whole bunch of people who are taking advantage of privacy now, because there's a larger percentage of the population taking advantage of privacy, then it's that much harder for the federal government, law enforcement, and anybody else snooping to figure out what we're doing, right? But if there's a smaller number of people doing it, then of course it's easier to determine who's doing what. So the idea is to get as many people as possible to start taking advantage of these privacy-related features and such. And so between Unstoppable Domains and the Wasabi wallet, certain things like that is very important to take back your freedoms and liberties and get your passports, get your cryptos, get your domain names and such, and start exercising some freedom for a change. Because it's not enough just to say, I don't have anything to hide and it's completely okay. That doesn't make it any easier for the rest of us. Because the government is kind of going to assume that nobody cares about freedoms, So, excuse the noise. So that keep that in mind. So, moving right along in the crypto space, looks like we're making progress, albeit slow progress. Prices are maintaining themselves as of today, January 10th, I think it is. Looking okay, nothing dramatic, but the idea is we have an ecosystem that's currently evolving and it's staying around, doesn't seem to be going away. It's withstanding all sorts of attacks from governments, from law enforcement, from nefarious individuals, and it seems like Bitcoin is hanging in there. It seems like the blockchain is not going anywhere. Okay, so I've been investing for 20 years, going on 30 years now, and I have to tell you, typically when these ideas and such, if they can withstand the test of time, it usually means there's a good chance that they're going to be adapted on a larger scale, or that they're going to continue to be around. So, you don't get a decade under your belt if you're running a Ponzi scheme or something that just doesn't have any utility, any merit at all. Usually those things, they fade very quickly. So, but again, I'm noticing that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in the entire industry seems to be hanging in there. And again, going on 11 years, looks like we're onto something. So you guys may want to diversify your assets, start taking a look at this particular space, seeing what it has to offer and such. I'm talking to too many young people who they don't have much in the way of retirement. They don't have much in the way of, a fallback or something to fall back on, just in case. And that's not a good thing. You typically want to have, something set aside, some long-term objectives financially, and just in case, because to be out there winging it on a daily basis, I don't know if that's if that's a perfect strategy to have. You always want to be prepared, and usually a long-term focus is better, okay? Because tomorrow's will come, definitely, and you'll be 20 years old now. You could be 20 years old, and then before you know it, you'll be 30 and 40 and 50 and 60, and then you'll be asking yourself, why didn't I make necessary preparations? Now it's good to try gambling and all the other different quick get rich quick schemes. That's okay to some extent, but you typically want to have a solid long-term strategy, okay, in addition to all of the other speculative things that people do to make money. Your long-term strategy is typically the thing that's going to make the most difference. So, keep an eye on the long term and forget about the more speculative things that's supposed to pay off, tremendously, and like a lottery ticket or something like that, whatever. That's pie in the sky stuff that may or may not make a difference. But again, going back to the crypto space, lots of countries, lots of companies, lots of major alliances and partnerships still going strong. So again, look like we're making big progress. And go to my website if you want. And I'm detailing lots of things that are going on in this space with my blogs and videos and such. So if you want to keep abreast of what's happening. Oh yeah, before I forget, there's something called BTC Pay Server. I think it's called BTC Pay Server. B as in boy, T as in Thomas, C as in Charlie, Pay Server. Basically what they do is they also integrate this wallet, this payment service into your back end on your website, so that you can quickly and easily do crypto related payments. So in addition to using Coinbase, in addition to using something like BitPay, we have a BTC Pay Server, which is much more reliable, much more aligned with what we're trying to accomplish in the crypto space. So check out your BTC Pay Server. Get your developer to integrate it. If you can't figure it out yourself, get a developer. And with a very small amount of time invested, very small effort, you can have an alternative to the credit card companies and the bankers and such. I used Visa, MasterCard, and American Express and those guys for a long, long time, and I can tell you they take way too much money. They inject way too much bureaucracy into e-commerce itself, with the chargebacks and the discount fees and the settlement fees and the batch fees and all that. It's just insane. Okay, there's no way customers should be doing all these chargebacks. And see, there are some people out there who are taking advantage of how easy the credit card issuers make it to do chargebacks and such. And there's good companies that are going out of business because of the abuse. The chargeback fraud is rampant. So take look at the BTC Pay Server. And if you can integrate that into your shopping cart on your e-commerce websites, that's going to get rid of those discount fees. And when you get paid with Bitcoin, it's like cash. Those transactions are basically irreversible. If you want to pay the customer back, give them a refund or whatever, that's between you and the customer, not you and American Express or MasterCard or Visa or anybody else, okay? And you also don't have to worry about all those fees that eat up most of your profits. So things are changing. Keep up, keep aware. Get your passports in place, because as we threaten the traditional banks and finance systems of the world, they're going to want to push back. But if you're prepared, if you got choices, then it's not going to be as big a deal for you as compared to the other people who didn't pay attention, didn't listen, didn't make plans, that don't have backup plans or choices or something. They're really going to be in a bind. So you don't want to be like that. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, because I can go on and on and on about how these new innovations and different things that we have But I'm logging a lot of it on my website, so I don't have to remember and have a 2-hour podcast. Again, I'm just basically doing this because I'm paying for their service, and I keep forgetting to use it. So, anyway, stay focused, stay aware, and be prepared financially for things that can come down the line that may disrupt things that you're trying to do. Anyway, we'll talk later. You guys take care and have fun. Thanks. Enjoy your weekend.